Hello everybody and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
Oh, I'm next. I'm Chibi. Hi.
I'm NV Jitters.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm
it's
so used to two more people being in front of me.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes people have some other things that you know, obligations are obligations and whatnot. We're back once more with the last week of our weird romance stuff. Real quick, I just wanted to mention that we're going to have a quick announcement, semi-quick announcement at the end of the episode, so stick around for that. It's going to explain what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. But for now, let's talk our last weird romance that we watched for this stretch, and we watched Toradora for this. As far as weirdness goes, how does it compare to the last couple weeks?
I mean, it's pretty standard, all things considered, considering, you know, last week wasn't a romance, it was an abomination. 2 weeks ago was,
what
was 2 weeks ago?
Full Metal Panic.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, the spy, secret agent thing, so...
Yeah, I would say this is pretty run-of-the-mill.
I mean, technically speaking, the one person is nicknamed Palm Top Tiger, and one's like a dragon, so dragon and a tiger.
Yeah, symbolism!
Both of their names mean tiger and dragon
Yeah.
in like an iteration. Like their actual names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's seen this before? I've watched this a while ago. I want to say
I binged
Gav
it.
did.
I think I binged it 2 years ago. I want to say in 2021.
Okay.
I said I watched it before. Didn't like it.
So this is my first time seeing it.
First time too.
All right. What do the new people think?
Just a little fun little side bra. When we went to watch it, it for some reason kicked us to the very last episode.
Oh, fun.
So like
What?
Cece got a good like 10 minutes of that before I'm like,
I was like, is this like a really cold open or is it playing the end?
How the hell did you manage to accomplish that?
They secretly watched
We
it,
just
didn't
clicked
realize
play.
they watched it. And
You
then
didn't just click episode 1, you clicked episode 24.
I think maybe just hitting the play button.
We just clicked.
like play on the series.
I'm wondering if maybe it was like saved from like a long time ago.
No, this was on
Did
Tubi.
you- Oh, Tubi.
Why don't you just do it on
Interesting.
Netflix? It's the one thing that we watched that was on Netflix.
It was on Netflix.
I watched it on Crunchyroll.
Okay,
We saw-
even if you watched it on Tubi, wouldn't, you know, the smart thing for Tubi to do would be, you know, to start on episode 1?
Oh, you don't realize they've stolen their Tubi account.
Apparently.
Anyway, so the ending though
The ending, though? Weird ending.
kind of mitigates the whole premise.
Yeah, a little bit. But other than that.
Interesting.
Okay, to this person who hasn't been spoiled of the ending but also didn't see it, what'd you think?
Me?
Yeah.
What I thought of it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was bored.
I
Really
figured.
bored. Well, because honestly, like, it's not. Romantic comedy has to strike a certain line for me. And this was just not funny. Sorry? I don't know.
It doesn't get any better.
I gotta be real,
Oh, good.
Chibi. I actually feel bad for you for the last couple weeks. I feel like we've watched nothing that you've really enjoyed.
I've noticed.
I'm really sorry.
No,
I
no,
mean,
I
I-
think Cheebs definitely was like in love with Dokuro.
Ugh.
Yes, me watching 4 minutes of that
Yeah, 4 minutes.
tells you
Well,
how much I love it.
Honestly, you probably got out the best of all of us. Shut up.
Yeah. But yeah, like I know Envy really likes this show, and I know you probably have like some nostalgia vibes for it, but I'm just like, That's all I really gotta say.
I'm gonna say it. Saiga's not a likable character.
Not
I
particularly.
noticed.
I'm
Go
you know,
on.
Am I
no, I'm-
trashing your waifu?
Go
no,
on.
I'm just I want to say I respectfully disagree with you with everything you're saying while also trying to respect your opinion. So like I don't know how to I don't know how to come out and say that without sounding douchey. So
I would just say it like this: everybody's waifu standards are different.
Yeah,
well,
the
no,
thing
I'm
is-
talking. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the show in general. Like, if you don't like the show and you don't like the characters, that's perfectly reasonable. I'm not going to get mad at you. I just don't agree with what you think about the show personally.
About what exactly?
I mean, like, I love the show. It's like, if you
I know
remember
you
from
do.
if you remember from my top 5, it was like one of my honorable mentions, and
I
will give
know.
you one. I will give you one thing, Kozi. I wasn't a fan of the ending either. Like, the last 15 minutes of the final episode was like the one thing keeping me from giving the show a 10 on Mal, because I wasn't. It was like the most satisfying ending ever. That's how me and my friends from high school described it.
Yep.
So I get you there, but I mean, to each his own, I suppose.
I feel you on that one.
So, were you saying that in reference to like how you feel about like the main character, the main girl? I'm just trying to figure out what got on this. Where your train of thought is right now, because I'm like lost.
No, I'm just saying I'm the exact opposite opinion. That's all I'm saying.
They're
What?
Envy's opinions of the show.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm not following.
Like, don't get me
conversation.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Taiga initially does not come off as a likable character at all. I totally agree with that. But I think as the show progresses, to me, all the characters get a lot more development, a lot more. Some of them get more sympathetic, some you get more understanding to, and I did get emotionally attached to Ryuji and Taiga's relationship as the series progresses, because it goes from like the first core being a somewhat lighter tone to the second half just being a full-on fucking drama.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a meme on Reddit every year where you watch the Christmas episodes, because there's a 2-part Christmas episode, and it is people say, "Oh, rewatch the Christmas episodes. It's so wholesome." No, it's depressing as shit.
I miss my girl Ami.
Yeah, she adds a little something.
Yeah, funny enough, I could totally see Ryuji with all 3 of the main girls in a different way.
Hey, can I tell you something? That's kind of the point. This is not a harem show, but it's just a little. It's got a little bit of that flavor to it.
Well, there was a visual novel game that they came out with.
Yeah,
I
did not
Oh, I
realize
believe
they did
it.
that.
I was gonna say, was this like a dating sim show?
This-
No.
Because-
It was
This was
a
a
novel.
light novel at first, and then
Yeah.
it became a manga, and then it became an anime.
And then they made a visual novel game where you can have different routes.
Okay. Everyone knows what like the end game is. Obviously, yeah.
Well, I
Apparently-
know.
Tora gets with the Dora.
Apparently, the ending of the visual novel,
Oh,
you knock Taiga up with triplets.
Well, that's one of the endings.
I'm
yes.
hoping a few years later. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like 5 years in the future, I want to say, if I remember
Okay,
correctly.
I'm a little more okay with that.
I mean, they do kind of elope.
I mean, I don't want to. Okay, for the 2 who haven't seen it, are you gonna watch it?
no.
Okay, yeah.
I don't care though.
Okay, yeah, they do kind of elope a little bit, don't they? They like are
Yeah.
Well, they
ready
wanted
to go
to.
get
They
married.
wanted to elope. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they were going to go off and basically run off as 2 18-year-olds or 2 7. Yeah, they were going to run away, hide out until they turned 18, then get married and live on their own. But then at the very end, they're like, Taiga's like, wait, this might be a bad idea.
Maybe.
But she
Might be a bad
still
idea.
comes back, and I think it's implied they do it anyways.
Well, the whole reason why she went away for a year at the very end was to basically get more mature, or like learn, like do reflection of herself. And I mean, she came back at the end because it was Ryuji's graduation, so she wanted to, see him on his graduation. But I
Yeah,
think
so they're 18
the ending
now.
is, but I think the ending is kind of ambiguous to what happens next. It's basically make your own interpretation. Like, they don't do a Clenad after story where you find out what happens after the original show ends. So it's basically left to you to decide what happens to them afterward.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think it was like at least when I first watched it, it didn't feel really clear to me why she left, and I was like, "Oh, that's a dick move." Like, you're just gonna leave and not... Did she say why she left, or was it just, like, read to be implied? You know what I mean? Like,
I think, like I said, it was more of she said that she wanted to basically get more mature to be, a better partner for Ryuji.
so we're just not gonna be around each other, and that's how I'll do that.
Ayo.
Yeah, that's a sign of maturity right there.
I think it was more of her realizing maybe getting eloped at 18 isn't the best idea, so maybe take some time to think about it.
Yeah, but there's ways around that, like, yeah, no, good idea. Don't get eloped before you're 18. But also, like, maybe let's have a conversation. Maybe I can work through my problems with other people, not just, I'm gonna fuck off somewhere, who knows where, and figure my... you could have, like, some different interpretations of this, but I think it'd be a funny idea if she just, like, sat under a waterfall for a year, like, meditating. I don't know, something very kung fu, you know what I mean?
He is really fucking chill about her breaking and entering and attempting to murder him.
Oh.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, so this is how we're starting.
I mean, what good romance hasn't started with a B&E? Don't actually answer that question.
I was gonna
Twilight
say,
did.
I'm like,
Exactly. And let's be real here. This is a better love story than Twilight. So, should we actually talk about, like, what happened in these 3 episodes at some point, or introduce our characters?
Sure.
We're kind of jumping around a little bit. We're kind of like talking more about the ending at the beginning, which is going to be bad for anyone here who hasn't watched it. I guess spoilers. Who cares? This show's been out for a while. You should have seen it.
Well, that's why there's the magic of editing. You put a big spoiler warning before this comes up.
Yeah, but I won't. So,
Fuck you.
This show's about a dude with a face that looks like a Yakuza, and
His dad was basically mafia.
he was, like, really low level, like, he says he's in the mafia, but really has no pull, kind of thing.
He's the coffee boy.
Yeah, no, yes, that's exactly it. And, so, he looks mean, so everyone assumes he's mean, and then there's Taiga, who's small and just a raging ball of anger. And, they become best friends because they mutually are in love with the other person's best friend. And they try to set each other up somehow. It's shenanigans o'clock, baby!
They are the definition of looks like a cinnamon roll, could kill you, and looks like could kill you, but is a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And then what are the other two? The best friends. I'm just saying, like, I'm just gonna throw out there. Himbo and Himbo.
Yeah. Yeah, more or less.
And you don't get to meet friend 5, who's just... She's a bitch, but it's also like... you kind of fun. You're kind of fun.
There's 2 reactions to Amy that I've seen. You either think she's the least favorite out of the main 5 characters, or she's your favorite out of the main 5 characters. There's, like, no in between with her.
She's my girl.
There you go.
I think she's one of those people that I wouldn't want to hang out with, I don't think, but I definitely want to hear about what she's starting.
She's basically the what's that one meme where it's like
the Real Housewives of...
No. You're right, but why'd you have to say it like that? Like that one clip from the Eric Andre show or something like that.
Why did you say something so controversial yet so brave?
That's basically her in a nutshell, because she basically says everything that's right, but yet the way she says it can be kind of condescending to a lot of people, or as you say, bitchy.
She likes to stir the pot.
Well, why are you pouring me? I'm right.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, there you go. Like,
again,
she's totally 100% right in how she criticizes the other 4 characters. It's just, the way she goes about it.
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't want to hang out with you, but I will gladly hear whatever, like, shit you're stirring today.
Did they really call her Amy in the dub?
It's Amy, Ami, AMI, I don't know.
Ami.
Listen,
I'm a dumb American.
Go back and forth.
So it's just what it is.
This was my first experience with the dub, so...
Oh, how'd you like it?
Bleh.
Huh?
Oh, hey, wait, this is our second week again with Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, like, it was decent.
I actually do like the people they got to do these characters. I'm not remembering who Ami was because we didn't get to her this time around. Like, I do enjoy. I think they did a good job with the micro tsundere and our narrator main character. Johnny Young Bosch is always going to be Johnny Young Bosch no matter what he's in. And then I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I'm a sub guy, but I watched the first episode subbed, and then to compare it, I watched the second episode dub, and then I watched the rest of the series dub because I love the cast.
I don't think I liked Minori's voice.
Yeah, she was good. Who was? I gotta look who that was.
She was Cassandra Lee Morris, who, if that rings a bell, she's
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. She's Cube. There you go. That should be the one thing we know.
Oh yeah.
And if you played Persona, she was. If you played Persona, she was Morgana, the cat.
Yeah, wait, that was cat. That was Taiga. We're talking about Minori.
Oh, Minori. Excuse me. Oh, you're right. And she was also, if you watch the dub, she was also Mako in Kill la Kill.
That makes sense. Where are you at, Minori? Wikipedia, don't fail me now.
Yep.
Christine Marie Cabanos. That one's Mako.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is this Madoka?
Yep.
Son of a bitch, it's Madoka. Madoka is best friends with QB. Well, that's too good.
Beautiful.
Well, that's wonderful. God, I'm trying to think. Wait, hang on, who's Ryuji? He did a good enough job. Maybe he's someone that okay. Eric Scott Kimmermer.
Yeah,
who has a professional wrestling career starting in 2019. Cool. Oh, yeah. He debuted under his professional wrestling as the Sassy Assassin.
Yep.
I immediately need to go start looking this guy up. I will come back later as to whether any of it is good or not in a later episode, but that's fun.
Oh, and if you asked who Amy was, she's Erica Harlatcher, who some of her notable roles include On from Persona 5, and then Kari Pika from Hunter x Hunter. I think I butchered that name. I apologize.
Okay, that'll fit. Like, she does sassy well.
Yep. Trying to think here, because we didn't really get to a ton of what the actual meat and potatoes of this show is, because it's the first 3 episodes.
Oh my gosh, I just realized. I'm looking up the cast for this show. You know the parrot, Inku?
Yeah, the one who says poop a lot.
Yeah, that was Wendy Lee voicing it.
You know what? That makes sense. Oh my god, we got another week with Wendy Lee and Johnny Young Bosch? My goodness.
Okay, continue. Your meat and potatoes.
Yeah, no, we didn't get a whole lot of the meat and potatoes. I mean, we got the basic premise and the basic comedy for this romantic comedy premise, but we're not going to get to the romance for, like, always. So, not until our 2 main leads figure out that what you were looking for was in front of you all along, and all that sort of hoopla.
Yeah, it really wasn't until, like, the summer vacation arc where, you know, at least Taiga was really starting to come to terms with, maybe I like him instead.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to remember for the rest of the show, because I really only rewatched the first 3 episodes of, like, where I felt on the tsundere spectrum that Taiga was. Because I feel like I've mentioned this before. There's tsunderes are like, okay, everyone starts in the middle of being like, I can see there's potential here, but you're also very grating. You can either slide to one side where it's like, okay, you're just a bitch and I don't like you, or you slide to the other side, it's like, okay, I like you. And I forget, she kind of stays in the middle for the most part, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about her is that a lot of times she gets pissed off when Ryuji acts like an idiot, or if people make fun of her height. So, like, she doesn't really get tsundere-ish, like, it's not like I like you or anything, Baka, or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess there's understandability.
She does come to terms with the fact that she likes him and is kind of like, yeah, I must still, like, beat you up.
In fairness, I'm pretty sure Ryuji likes it by the end.
That's fair.
Like,
he does take it to the chin pretty well.
Oh, yeah. At a certain point, he just realized, you know what? I guess this is just what I'm about. Which, I do like Ryuji, I think. And this just might be, I for some reason, enjoy somewhat sarcastic narrating characters. Like, he's definitely not as good as someone like Kyon from Haruhi, or, honestly, the best one is Psyche from Psyche K, if you guys have ever seen that, as far as, like, a sarcastic narration goes. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed his little, like, bits every now and then. We should watch Psyche K.
I do like that we got to the episode where Taiga confessed and got fucking obliterated.
Yeah. I was actually...
Yeah.
She deserved that.
Yeah, considering when you find out later in the show that
she turned him down. He had actually confessed to her.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, you didn't like me back then, but now, oh no, I realized what I could have had. It's like, yeah, I'm into the student council president now, sorry.
But the way that they kind of put it together, that at least maybe in the English, maybe like in the Japanese, it was like, oh, there was like a misunderstanding of the words that she used or something. But like whenever they do that sort of thing in English, I'm like, okay, what are you not getting is going on right now? And it kind of felt to me like he just didn't understand that she was confessing to him. And he was like, oh, you like me. I like you too. Great that we're going to be friends. And I'm like, do you? Yeah. And I was waiting for her to be like, what the fuck is going on?
No.
She didn't. But...
in the actual sub, it's really just, he's like tiptoeing around it, trying not to like completely crush her because he doesn't like her anymore.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
what
that,
I got.
But to be fair, this was like, what, 3 minutes after they had that scene on the roof with the very overdramatic, you two are dating! I'm standing up here. How did you get up there? That doesn't matter!
I want to believe that was completely improv.
I was almost thinking that was going to be a dream. It felt so weird, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It was, that was just... That makes it a bit of a tone shift when suddenly it goes from, hey, we're gonna have this really silly, you two are dating, and then you're gonna confess to me, and we're gonna have a serious moment. I took it as he was, like, oblivious, and that fed into my whole, he's a himbo, and you're both just really into himbos. Like, without a doubt, 100%.
You're right.
Minori is a himbo. I mean, she knows a little bit more than maybe she lets on, as you find out later in the series, but like, strong of arm, pure of heart, dumb of ass.
I think Yusaku could fit into that.
Yeah, considering the fact that, like, she kind of basically talked herself out of confessing to Ryuji at a certain point, where he's like, well, Taiga's getting close. It's like, well, bitch, Taiga didn't like Ryuji at the beginning. You secretly liked him. He obviously liked you, and you knew it. So, like, you could have been together. Like, there was nothing stopping you from going out with him.
Yeah, to some degree, I think this whole series probably could have been finished in like 3 episodes if there was just one character who came up early on, and maybe this could have been Ami, where he just kind of like hits everybody and is like, "Hey, just say what you want."
Which I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but one of the reasons why I liked this show, why I love this show, is because to me it kind of felt real in a way. Like, obviously you have anime tropes and you have anime cliches, but to me this honestly felt like real teenagers acting with like real teenager drama, thinking like teenagers, not thinking straight. Like, it was kind of like, you know, it's like,
I'm
teenagers
sorry,
are stupid.
Envy?
Teenagers, what?
At what point in your teenage years were you like, ooh, I accidentally gave my love confession letter to the wrong person, so I'm going to break into their house and attempt to murder them or commit seppuku?
So
okay, like I said, anime tropes.
So many times. That's why I keep saying half the people I knew who dated in high school because of a B&E. I'm telling you guys, it happens more often than you think.
I didn't say it was 100% accurate. I'm just saying,
hey, I want to be clear. I am saying this is 100% accurate.
So, as someone who was stalked in high school, that sentiment means a completely different thing to me.
Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry.
I take it back.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Gotta catch those charges to catch those hearts.
Ooh. Not to bring down the mood, but someone showing up at your house.
All right, I'm gonna stop making jokes about crimes.
I think you two are just looking at it from a very male perspective.
Yeah, so
I'm coming at this from a complete sarcasm spectrum.
No, and the thing is that I know, but the whole time, like, you've been saying, like, breaking and entering, and I'm just like,
I apologize.
We're thinking about this from, like, a female's perspective, and the male's breaking into her abode. That's woo.
I'm very sorry about that.
I've seen too many true crime podcasts and too many, like, thriller TV shows.
You don't watch those before you go to bed, do you? That's like the worst time to do it.
But also, I went through a very large stint of watching a lot of, like, crime TV when I was younger, when I was in high school. So...
Chibi knows how to hide the body.
No, Chibi just doesn't trust anybody.
No, Chibi literally knows how to hide the body.
No, Chibi knows how to hide the body. We know.
Yeah.
I mean, I could.
We know what happened to that stalker. No one else does.
Actually, I do.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Actually, no, I don't know where he is right now. But that's besides the point.
Yes, exactly. Authorities. Chibi does not know where they are.
Anyway, moving on.
Well, geez, I feel like my whole point's kind of mute now. I'm sorry, Chibi.
I mean, you're not really thinking about it from, like, an opposing perspective, and I guess, like, my whole thing is like, I don't know. I guess some of the tropes that I find in, like, romance anime, like, particularly when it's, like, aimed at, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is seinen, not shoujo. So I feel like the target audience is supposed... It's targeted at girls.
I kind of felt it was kind of even-handed. I mean, they kind of feels like...
I really don't... I think you can enjoy it no matter who you are, but I
felt that...
But also, it's just like... I guess what I'm saying is some of the tropes, they have very different standards of, like, what they would consider okay behavior.
Yeah, like some random shopkeeper grabbing a high schooler's ass.
Yeah.
That was in an episode.
Yep.
Why? Because I got the hots for your mom, so I'll grab your ass. I'm like, okay.
I think the whole
That's
thing
a stretch.
is, if you reversed the roles of Taiga and Ryuji, it wouldn't be cute.
This gets dark fast.
Yeah, it wouldn't be cute. So it's not like a cute romancy thing for her to do it.
Like, I don't care who is in the role doing whatever. If one person's doing that to another person, like, I'm immediately turned off. Like,
That's
if she's
fair.
just a stuttering idiot, that's one thing. It's another thing to freaking break into his home and attack him.
Yeah, like, the constant attacking. Like, I know it's an anime trope, but, like, it's not...
And the thing is
it's not cute.
It's not cute, and also it's like, please stop calling her tsundere. She didn't get tsundere till episode 3. Like, particularly towards him. Like, she didn't start getting tsundere till episode 3. Like, a lot of her behavior I don't think was very tsundere. It was just very weird. And also, she's just kind of, like, really shy and closed up, but also, like, she wasn't, like, I don't know.
Okay.
It just didn't really feel like it was the vibe.
So one of the things they try, which I feel like may have been, like, where they failed a little bit, but Envy, I think you probably enjoyed the arc. Her mom's kind of out of the picture because her parents divorced and her dad married a really young new woman. And he sent her to live off by herself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I feel like they could have done a lot more with the complexity of that than they did. But it is only a 25-episode series.
That's fair. They probably would have done that and maybe gone into, like, I mean, we get a little bit more backstory for, like, the same way with, like, Ryuji's mom and dad a little bit, like, the little bit of stuff, but it doesn't go into a ton of detail. Granted, you probably don't have as much detail necessitated there, but they probably could have expanded on a couple more characters and the backstories and the different dynamics of things had there been a little bit more time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just thinking, like, I would have preferred to go into that a lot more. I want to know her backstory, what her living situation is, and I feel like that would be something better to focus on than the comedy part.
I mean,
yeah,
they do.
No, but I would prefer it. The thing is, I would prefer it more than comedy.
Yeah, they don't really, like, break it down.
Yeah.
It's more just pulled out as kind of, like, a justification.
Well, I mean, there's also a mini storyline where Minori kind of protects Taiga. There's a plot where basically Ryuji tries to get Taiga back with her dad, basically to reconcile, even though Taiga doesn't want to have anything to do with him, and he thinks he's doing a good thing, but then Minori kind of like tells him, "Yeah, no, this is a bad idea," and then you find out why it's a bad idea, and it's like, "Oh, okay, I see what you're doing."
And then you find out she was right.
Yeah, like, I mean, I get what you guys are saying. Like, I don't know, maybe just something about for this show just worked for me. Like, it just clicked. Like, I've seen. You guys know I watch a shit ton of anime, and I've seen a bunch of romance animes the last couple of years, and boy, some of them, you want to talk about tropes, and you want to talk about shit writing and shit characterizations, I can give you some anime that have some shit MCs and shit romances that'll make you want to...
describing it, I don't want that. Shut up!
No.
Chibi, I really need help hiding a body.
And if someone knows how to do it, it's Chibi.
But yeah, continue.
So I think more like, maybe this is just the kind of ship that you like. Maybe that's why it resonated with you a lot more than it's resonating with me.
I mean, I don't even know if I have...
I don't know, like, you like Okabe and Kurisu. Kurisu's more tsundere, I guess. I don't know.
You into that? You like when people are mean to you?
Oh my god.
Envy, where do you like to get stepped on?
Okay, well, first off, I'm not going to answer that. But secondly,
that means there's an answer.
But secondly, I really don't know if I have a ship type because I've liked different kinds of ships. I've liked the friendship to romance trope. I like the best friend trope. I've liked all kinds of ships. I mean, two of my favorite ships of all time when I was growing up was Danny and Sam from Danny Phantom and Aang and Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, like, obviously there was no tsundere-ness with that. Like, they were just, will they or won't be, or friends throughout the whole series and then get together in the finale. I guess there's something like that. I mean, I don't know. It just depends on how something's presented for me.
You need some development for your ship to happen. It can't just be a thing.
I don't know. So, like, my thing is, like, Taiga and Yusaku. Like, yeah, I get that. But, like, Ryuji's liked Minori for a long time. And apparently Minori liked him for a long time. Like, and he kind of, like, mother-henned Taiga through a lot of the series. So I don't necessarily, like, see their chemistry in, like, a romantic way. I feel like they felt a little bit more like siblings.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I feel like he'd strike me more as like maybe like a caretaker kind of figure.
Oh, he
honestly,
definitely
and
is.
I think part of it for me was within the first 3 episodes, I wasn't really feeling a whole lot of chemistry with them either. But I don't know.
Not to go off of what we're talking about, I did want to kind of circle back as to why we're not getting as much backstory about, like, the parents. I'm wondering if maybe part of it is because this whole thing takes not necessarily, like, a first-person perspective, but a mostly perspective of the high school students. So maybe that's just not something that they would be thinking about as much. And because, Taiga's parents are not, like, in Ryuji's direct point of view, and he's kind of the main character, we're kind of seeing it through his eyes. It's like, well, if she's not going to share it, I don't have it. Kind of thing. So maybe that's why we don't get nearly as much into the backstory and it's not shared.
Well, and also let's not forget too that Ryuji's mom, I love her as a character, but like she's, not the greatest role model of a parent you'll ever find.
No, that's why he's a caretaker.
Okay, her coming in at the very end being like, you can't elope, I don't approve. On what leg do you have to stand, Miss Ma'am?
Because she screwed up and did that?
There you go. She doesn't want to see him screw up like she did.
Do as I say, not as I do.
No, I don't think she has a leg to stand on there.
I don't even think it's a leg to stand on. I think it's more of, yeah, my leg is busted from my mistakes. Please protect your legs.
I mean,
she obviously loves Taiga as a daughter anyway. Like, throughout the whole series, she pretty much is like, yeah, I shipped you two together. Just, be boyfriend and girlfriend.
It wasn't even like a shipping thing. She's like, this tiny child is mine now, so if you two need to, like, eventually get married, that's what you'll do.
And I think that was kind of sweet, too, because, like, she had no parental, figures
Skills?
in her life at that point. She was she was literally by herself.
She still did not have a parental figure in her life, because Ryuji's mom is not a parental figure.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But at least she has some, a shoulder to cry on, or in his mom's case, boobs she likes to poke with chopsticks.
I don't know. I think I would have to try actually reading the novel, or maybe even potentially playing the visual novel. I feel like they probably ran into the issue of they could not put everything in here. And at least for me, like, it's missing something.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I felt completely satisfied, minus, the last 15 minutes. But otherwise, yeah, I was on the edge of my seat pretty much every week. Well, excuse me, not every week. I binged the whole thing in 2 days. But, like, you get my drift. Like, I was... Oh, yeah. Like, 2020 to 2021, I had a problem. I would binge a show, and I would basically, okay, time to binge another show.
Hey, Envy, how many shows are you watching this season?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we ask.
17.
Yeah, you maniac.
Are you sure it's had a problem?
How do you have that much time?
Okay, guys, this is secretly an intervention. I need help, please.
No, look, guys, I'll tell you what it is. Envy doesn't like to talk about it, but he's got a TARDIS, and he finds the time. He literally finds the time.
Well, I mean,
I guess I'm, like, wondering, like, how the scheduling is spaced out across the week. Is what I'm trying to figure out.
All right. Okay. 1 on Sunday, 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday.
Thursday's gonna be the one, isn't it?
No, 3 on 3 on Wednesday. 3 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, and 5 on Saturday.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Don't get me wrong. I do not recommend it, but, like... good.
I mean, it's something to look forward to every day.
This is an addiction.
I mean,
here's my problem.
And go on.
Here's my problem. I go on Reddit, and a lot of times people recommend shows in the group chat, so I'm like, well, shit, I gotta check this out. And then also FOMO is a very bad thing for my OCD. I'm afraid if I don't watch something, I'm gonna miss out on something that people say is great.
They will probably still have it on a streaming service somewhere, hun.
I know.
You can watch it anytime.
But then he's got 18 more shows next season.
No, I think it's nice to have, like, a routine to it. I don't know, I'm too spoiled by, like, the whole season dropping in one or waiting until it gets to that point.
Here's my thing too. I'm a seasonal anime watcher because I'm into anime, but I find it more satisfying to binge a show. I will admit that. It's just that I sometimes don't have the time like I used to spend 2 full days doing nothing but binging a show, whereas I could just spend 23 minutes watching one episode and then moving on.
Yeah, no, I just don't know if I could do that anymore. I feel like I've just been spoiled with how a lot of things drop now.
Yeah, it's the whole debate of what do you prefer, weekly stuff or binging all at once?
Yeah, I think, like, for the most part, I even prefer binging things. But even then, like, I don't generally tend to watch a lot of TV. I'll mostly just, I mean, you guys know me, I just read a lot.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like a shit ton of books.
Go check out their, I don't know.
I mean, I do have Instagram, and I am.
Okay, I didn't know whether I was allowed to plug that or not. Go check out Chibi's.
Is it not already
books on Instagram.
Plugged in the description?
I forget. I copy and paste for a lot of like our names on the things.
So I think it's in my Tumblr is down there, but not like my Insta.
All right, you want that change? I'll change that.
No, that's fine. I don't care.
Right.
But yeah,
Tumblr
like, also
might
on
honestly
Goodreads.
have more book recommendations.
Not really. As far as like their book recommendations go, it's not like people are really like recommending things. They're more just talking about things and making fan art. But mostly right now I am in the Tumblr book clubs reading a bunch of different classics. So that is what I'm doing right now.
Is anyone else like me where they find a fandom like that's long dead that they've never seen before, that they're like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna work with for the next week or two?
Or
a
small one.
Like, I do not follow the hype. It's just like, I'll occasionally be like, oh, there's hype over here. Let's see what's going on here. But like half the time, like anytime it's like the hype is, there's no hype. It's gone. This died a decade ago. I'm like, all right, well, let's see if it's any good. I've already heard everything about it.
Well, I will say there is hype for Moby Dick on Tumblr because of the Tumblr book club.
Like the original Moby Dick.
Yeah, like, so we're all kind of reading Moby Dick, like, a couple chapters, like, a week, because we can. Because they, like, update on Substack, because it's, like, a newsletter, and it's public domain, so you can do that.
Huh.
Al, I'm laughing at you in obscure fandoms. Obscure and niche fandoms.
Dolphin Fairy.
Why is that? What's that?
Oh my gosh.
Dolphin
Fairy.
Dolphin Fairy?
In
Obscure and niche fandom it is.
It was a very obscure manhwa that just had horrible art style.
Atrocious. It was beautiful.
Loved it so much.
I want to, like... one of the, like, big Tumblr famous users hit us up because we had matching Dolphin Fairy icons. And they were like, oh my god, you guys know what Dolphin Fairy is? Can I be your friend? We're like...
Is there such a thing as a big Dolphin Fairy Tumblr if it's not a thing?
No. Dolphin Fairy is not a fandom.
No, they weren't like a Dolphin Fairy blog. They just happened to be into it and found our icons.
Ah, I see.
They're a big, like, if you see screenshots from Tumblr, like, best of posts, there's like a 60% chance
They're
it's
the
one of theirs.
scary pink piggy bank.
I do want to be clear, because I don't want to claim that I have some sort of niches that I'm into, like, because I don't think I'm capable of, like, delving deep enough sometimes to actually go looking for something. I'm talking, like, fandoms that might have been big a while ago that just aren't anymore. Like, I'll just randomly have, like, a moment where I'm like, hey, you know what I really want to do? Watch all the episodes of Freakazoid right now. And that's...
Yeah.
That's kind of
There's some things like that.
I would say...
I mean, Go on.
I would say it's like more I'm revisiting something more than I'm just
That might be a better
into
way. Yeah, that might be a better... Well, I mean, there's some that I haven't seen. I've definitely seen Freakazoid, but like, there was other ones that I hadn't seen before that I was like, oh, I had heard really good things about this way back in the day, 10 years ago, and I just never watched it. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
Technically, this show was an example of that. I mean, it was obviously big back in the day, but like when I watched it 2 years ago, like hardly anybody was talking about it other than, oh yeah, I remember that show back in the day. So I got into it because my two friends from high school that got me into anime helped get me into anime after you guys. They were like, yeah, you should totally watch this show, and I did. So
yeah, I think like I will revisit things. Like I'm revisiting things like 2 years in a row now from like high school. And then honestly, the one thing that I like watched most recently that was like from a long time ago was Gilmore Girls, because I was kind of just...
Isn't that while you were sick?
Yeah, that was when I had the flu, and I was like, okay, I finished Wednesday. What other thing can I watch right now here on Netflix while I'm having, like, chills and a fever? And I was like, oh, I remember some of the booktubers that I watched talking about Gilmore Girls. Let's watch it, see what it's about.
And the funny thing too is that Al, you were saying like that stuff that could be dead. as we've seen in recent years, things can get a resurgence. Like apparently Zoolander memes are popular all of a sudden. Like they're everywhere on the internet now, and it's just like
goddamn Twilight is back.
I think they. Well, I think
Yeah,
some
I mean,
of them.
Twilight always comes back at some point.
I think people
Okay,
are
in
like
fairness,
ironic
some of these-
about it now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another element is some of them are having like anniversaries. Like Zoolander was like around 20 years ago. It would either had like its 20th anniversary like last year,
Take
this
it
year,
back.
something like that, or something like. It was early. It was very early 2000s.
Take it back.
Look at the celebrity people in it. Limp Bizkit was a thing.
2001.
That was
What?
2000, like right after the 90s, man. I know when these fucking movies came
Oh
out.
God, we're old.
All right. You know what?
Yeah.
I've just accepted it at this point and realized that I'm going to be in a grave pretty soon, so I'm not worried.
You still
I feel
got,
bad
like,
for everyone else who has to
20
live
years.
after me.
You still
Was that?
got like 20 years.
Do we? Do we really?
20. I feel
I
like
mean,
that's
I
not
hope
to
it's
bring
more than
everyone
20
down.
years for us, considering I know all of our real life ages. I hope we don't got 20 more years to live. I hope we
No.
got
I meant
more
until we
than that.
start.
You
looking
hope we
old.
don't got 20 more years?
Oh, okay. I
I was
misinterpreted
gonna
what you
say,
said.
No,
like,
I'm not
what
saying
are
we're
you
all
talking
gonna
about?
croak in 20 years. It's not
That-
the
that would've been it.
Oh, in 20
That's-
years we'll be
that's
I'm
what-
old.
already looking old. What are you guys talking about?
That's what it made it sound like you were saying. I misinterpreted what you said.
Hey, in 24 years, I can see the future. Trust me, we're not gonna make it.
Okay, good.
We even
Right.
want to.
Fertilizer, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna get into it. Let's talk about what we're actually here for because I've been putting us on tangents.
Oh, yeah, we
My
watched the
apologies.
show.
What are we here for?
Toradora.
Yep. So, I don't know. Do we have any other things to talk about it?
Not really.
No.
At least I don't.
Any other final thoughts for anyone?
MV, do you
I-
want to
I mean, I
actually share what you really liked about it? I feel like we've just kind of been swinging on it the entire time.
I mean, I kind of went into it earlier, but like, I guess for me, again, me personally, I'm not saying I'm right, but me personally, I just think everything about the show worked for me, minus the last 15 minutes. Like, I just like the character, like, I just liked it. You know what it reminded me of? This is going to be a very weird comparison, but it reminded me of Steins Gate. Because first time I watched Steins Gate, I liked the first core of episodes, didn't love it, but the second core, after a certain point, made me fall in love with the show. And I was liking the first half of the show to begin with, but the second half, when it became more of a drama, I fell in love with everything about it. Like I was ready to put this show as like a 10 out of 10, one of my top 5 favorite anime, but I couldn't do it because of the last half of the last episode. But I still, it's still my favorite romantic comedy anime of all time. Like I'm still gonna people might say, well, why do you like it so much? Well, it just worked to me. Like I don't know, I can't really explain it. I mean, I could, but I'd be here for like an hour.
Yeah, Envy, I gotta ask. I don't know why you think your takes are so weird.
I don't know. I hate describing stuff that I like sometimes because I feel like I don't want to seem like I'm right or I'm wrong.
There's no right or wrong. It's just opinions.
I'm gonna be really honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what the
and
whole thing
I
is.
get the same way about stuff that I like because I don't really feel like people will like it for the same reasons that I do if they even like it at all. So, but I mean, your opinion is your opinion, and obviously this is something you really like. Whether or not anyone agrees with you, well, that's another thing.
I
But,
think
you
the
know, Who
premise
cares?
could have worked. Just for me personally, I feel like it wasn't developed enough, but I'm willing to give it a chance in like its other forms.
Yeah.
CC, how about you?
She's been playing Mirrorverse the entire time.
No, this is Genshin.
Okay, we're done with that.
Oh, it's Genshin.
This was like a really light and easy show, and I appreciate those sometimes more than more complex shows. Because I just kind of, like, constantly need several streams of, stimulation. So it's nice to have, like, an easy thing to have going on while I'm working on, like, Genshin or my knitting or something, you know?
Cool. Don't keep watching, because that will not stay that way. I think, and, you know, to borrow a little bit from Envy here, you know, this is just my opinion, and I don't know if anyone would agree with me, and, you know, just to be clear, this is just what I think, but I think the best version of this is Full Metal Panic Famofu, and I think that we should all really watch that, but I understand if we gotta move on to other stuff, because we have some other things coming up for, the next couple weeks that will probably put that on the back burner. But keep it in the back of your minds, because the best version of this is definitely Full Metal Panic Famofu. No, I did enjoy this show. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the romance. And yeah, it has some hiccups here and there. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it just ends up being that like the characters are just... You just end up liking them for one reason or another. Maybe it's because you feel like you know them and you like they are like almost your friends in a way. And yes, I'm talking about escapism a little bit. Sue me. I don't care. Don't actually sue me. I can't afford that. I'm poor.
You know what's funny too about this show?
Go ahead.
It was made by JC staff, and what made me laugh is there's a fight like in episode 16 between Toradora and the student council president, and I was watching it and I was like, it was a great scene and all, but I was laughing internally because I'm thinking they animated this scene better in 2008 for a non-action show than the entirety of One Punch Man Season 2.
There's a take that I think a lot of people will agree with.
Didn't they put I was the entire budget of Season 2 into like one shot?
Okay, guys, can I be honest with you? We do not have the time to go into the problems with One Punch Man Season 2, okay? I will not... I don't want to be here for an hour.
All right.
Yeah.
Longer than
Yays, nays.
So,
good point.
Yays and nays. Everyone, I will just say, I'm still a yay on this. I think, like I said, there's a couple hiccups, but it gets you. I feel like it gets me in the end. It's fun. I enjoy it.
I mean, obviously, you guys know what I am, so like, I'm not even gonna say it.
Solid meh. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, Cece, you want to go? Because I think we kind of know where me and Cheeps land.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a yay.
Yeah.
Maybe a light yay, but I'm a yay. Usually I like my twinks short and angry. It was a little different having the girl be the short, angry one.
I did tell you would like her.
But yeah, I do think I liked her, yeah.
Sorry, that caught me off guard for what you said.
Hey, short, angry girls can be twinks too. If you take anything from this episode, just remember that. And that Full Metal Panic Famofu is the best version of the show.
Okay.
I'm like a solid meh. I'm willing to, like I said, go see if the other media, like, does it better for me. But, I think, what is it called? The Love War.
Love is War?
Love is War.
Love War?
Yeah, just go watch Love is War for
yeah.
me. I feel like that's
like,
the better iteration of this.
Oh, man. You know what? I could rewatch Love is War. You have me thinking now that there's something called, like, Toradora the Love War. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I will say I'm somewhere between, like, a low meh to just a meh. Like, I could see its potential, but the execution just wasn't for me. And, you know.
Sorry, Houdini screaming in the background.
Houdini screaming in the background? Houdini playing with a plastic bag?
It was very meh.
Yeah, no, it was very meh. This was just not for me, for a couple different reasons. But yeah, so.
Okay. And Gav and Yin aren't here to talk. I have no idea what they would have said.
I mean,
doesn't really matter.
Gav said that he watched the show and he liked it before, so I imagine he would give it a yay.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's a nice thing for Gav. Anyway, so that's that for that. But we got to talk about what's going to be coming up next week and then in the following weeks, because we're kind of planning some stuff. We have some stuff that we wanted to do, and I'm gonna. You know what? I gotta do it because we just drop it next week.
I know.
Let me do it, okay? All right. So it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done a tournament. Now, we kind of did a little bit of something with the live-action movies kind of thing, but a while ago, if you watched, actually 2 years ago at this point, we did the Shonen Showdown, which we pitted a whole bunch of shonen anime against each other and, like, compared them and all sorts of other stuff and found a winner. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. It's very long, but I actually think it was one of our better things, and we kind of wanted to do something like that again, but this time we're changing up the theme. We're switching it to, we're gonna call it the Collect Them All tournament. If you can't tell where I'm going with this, I'm hoping you could have, but we're gonna be looking at TV shows that are specifically there just to sell you shit. So if they're selling you a toy or a card game or a video game or action figures, whatever, their express purpose is just to sell you stuff. And if you still don't know what I'm talking about, you'll figure out once I start saying who's going to be here. So we have, we're going to have mostly the same categories. We're going to switch things up a little bit. Since there's a couple more of us, it's going to take more time to talk about stuff. So we're going to reduce the number of categories. I think for Shonen Showdown, we had the plot, characters, world building, the art and animation, sound and dubbing, opening and ending, and then our final thoughts, which was essentially just a tiebreaker round, in case we needed one. We're going to be reducing that a little bit and changing things up. We're going to keep plot and characters, because, every show has to have them, and every show needs to, judge them on that. World building, we're going to change a little bit. It's going to kind of still be the same thing, but it's going to be a little bit more focused on the product that they're trying to sell. So we're going to change it to like advertising or sales pitch. I don't know what the exact word's going to be, but something along those lines to kind of be like, well, the point of this is the thing. How well does it sell the thing? Is that
going to be based off of whether or not we got it, or just?
I would just base it on whether or not the show actually makes you want to buy the thing or not. Is part of it, or explains it, or we'll go into more detail for a lot of these when we're actually doing it. I just wanted to go over everything real quick. As far as art and animation, sound and dubbing, and the opening and ending, we're actually just going to condense all of that into just production. Just putting half of the categories as just technical categories, I think might have gave a little bit too much of an advantage to some shows over others in the Shonen Showdown. So to even it out a little bit, we're reducing those categories, and I think there's a level of fairness to it, because a lot of these shows do tend to have a lot of similar quality to them. So we'll just take it all as one category, and then we'll keep final thoughts as the tiebreaker round in case we need any of those things. So let's talk the actual important thing. What shows are we going to be watching? So we have 16 shows. We're breaking them down into 4 different categories. And then there'll be 4 shows per category that will face off, and then they'll start facing off against each other as we get into the semifinals, I think. So our categories are going to be card games, battle toys, monster friends, and action figures. So I'm going to pull up, I got my little dice thingy, and we're going to see who ends up being first. I'm going to roll a d4 to see what category is going to be first. 4, that means we're starting with action figures. So that's cool. Sorry, I'm rearranging things on my Word document. So our first 2 matchups for action figures are going to be Gundam Build Fighters and Zoids. So that's fun. That'll be our first week. That'll be next week. And then our follow-up week will be Blackrock Shooters versus the original Transformers anime. So that'll be our first 2 weeks. And then the week after that, we'll start the card games category. Our matchup there will be Card Fighter Vanguard versus Wace Survive. I don't know how many of you people have heard of those, but they are shows, and I have actually heard of these card games at conventions. So we figured, yeah, that works. And then the week after that, it will be Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Duel Masters. Cool. So 2 of the shows we've actually watched on here before will be facing off against each other. So that is fun. Let's see here. What's next? Where am I? Okay. Is that where I am? Okay. Next category will be Monster Friends. Our first match of that will be Yokai Watch versus Monster Rancher. Oh, fuck. That means after that, it's Pokemon versus Digimon.
Oh, no.
Ew.
Oh, like, I was thinking it was going to happen eventually, but I'm like, oh, God. It's definitely going to happen. Okay, which means that the last category goes to Battle Toys, and we will have for that, it'll be Battle Bee Daemon, which is a marble shooter game, toy thing, versus Bakugan, and then Beyblade versus Metabots. So, yeah. And then from there, it just turns into the usual tournament of winners face other winners and just keep going until we get an overall, like, who sells their shit the best. We were not calling it the Buy Our Shit tournament, as I originally wanted to call it, because, YouTube doesn't seem to like it when you say, like, curse words in the first 30 seconds of your video. So again, this is gonna be the Collect Them All tournament, which, I mean, all these things kind of have that element to them. So, yeah, come back for that. Come check out the tournament if you're interested in seeing our reaction to some of these TV shows. I think this is going to be fun, especially for the really contentious weeks. Pokemon versus Digimon, we are going to get some comments. At least I hope. Helps the algorithm. I don't know. Anyway, come back for that and whatever else we got going on. I'm sure this is going to be a shit show. So, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series, Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!